You know who I am?
Anything you say. Anything you say.
It's official.
What's up, YouTube? It's your boy Thomas back again with another rendition of Truth Be Told. Now, there wasn't anything really major in the news, politically wise, or anything like that. At least I didn't see anything this past week. Except for, they've been losing the Trump indictments left and right. They've been throwing them out. Obviously, we all know the reason why. They're mainly just focused on like 2 or 3 of them, the big ones. We know that's not going to go well for them, so we'll see how that goes. But the vast majority of them have already been thrown out. They're all done. They just got a few left. And like I said, those are the big ones. But anyways, I wanted to talk to you about a couple of trailers this week that I seen, which really just kind of infuriates me. It's so annoying, irritating. I'll get to the reason why here in a minute. The first one I saw was Amazon's Fallout trailer. Now, I knew this was going to be woke trash before it even was, before the trailer even came out. The guy who's directing it and writing it is the same guy who did the Westworld series. I never watched the Westworld series. Just didn't seem that interesting to me. I know there was a lot of people, on social media came out and complained about the show, how terrible and woke trash it was. I don't know. I've not seen it. I couldn't tell you. It's just from what I saw, everybody was complaining that it was just garbage. Now, a lot of people say, well, he won an award for it. Well, yeah. Most of these newer shows that are getting awards is from woke Hollywood. Like, they don't know what's good. They're just handing out everyone knows, like, the not the Grammys, the Oscars and all that. It's all a big joke anymore. Because they didn't earn those awards. Because they've been putting out woke trash. But anyways, regardless. Yeah, the main character is a feminist. Another fucking female lead. Where in the game, rightfully so, you can choose to be male or female. Yes, I know this. But the main story is focused on his son. And even in, Fallout 4, that was Fallout 3. Fallout 4, I haven't played it yet, but from what I understand, it's the father looking for his son or something like that. I can't remember. It's kind of reversed. But it's still a male lead, not a female feminist. And that's what they have on this show. As soon as I saw that female lead, I was like, oh, fuck off. This is going to be garbage. Now, the story isn't even it really has nothing to do with the games. He changed it. He went and rewrote his own fucking Fallout story, is what he did. It's the Vault 33 is where she comes out of. He just, numbered the vault and said, I'll just do Vault 33. In the trailer, I mean, the CGI looked terrible. The dog eating the roach. I was like, come on. And she gets a heads up on the world from somebody that's been living on the outside that probably wouldn't survive on his own, but somehow he does. That makes no sense. I mean, it's that one guy from Person of Interest. The television Person of Interest, the billionaire guy with the glasses. He was on the show Lost, which I never really watched. I thought it was crap. But yeah, he's the one who tells her how the world works after she comes out of the vault. You see her and a bunch of other vault people in the trailer, and the uniforms are just I mean, they are terrible looking. It's so cheesy looking. Everything about the trailer was super cheesy, like the old Sci-Fi channel crap, Asylum Pictures. It was that bad looking. I am a huge fan of Fallout 3. I love that game. I played it over and over and over. However, I never played the bad guy. I always played the good guy. I've never played the bad guy. But regardless, one of my favorite games, and it was so disappointing to see that they went all woke trash garbage on it, which they did. So I may take a glance at this show just for you guys to give a small review on it, but I guarantee you I'm not going to like it. Moving on. The other problem I have is fucking... I also saw the trailer to Furiosa. A character nobody fucking wanted. Nobody wants Furiosa. Another teeny bopper feminist. Lead. It's supposed to be the backstory from that god-awful character Charlize Theron did for the Fury Road, Mad Max Fury Road. God-awful character. They should have just not put her in there, because the movie would have been 10 times better. The whole movie was supposed to... I was not a fan of Fury Road. I know some people like it. I thought it was okay, but the whole thing with her character, they should have left that character out of the fucking movie. We didn't need that fucking character. It focused way too much on her instead of Max. And I like Tom Hardy as an actor, but he just didn't fit the part. He's not a Mad Max. I'm sorry, but he's not. He didn't fit the part. That's another reason I wasn't a fan of the movie. But nobody gives a fucking two flying fucks about that character. Nobody. But George Miller, he bowed down and went ahead and did this backstory to this character because Charlize Theron and her 1% of feminists wanted to do that fucking character, and she talked them into doing it. It's so dumb. So dumb. Cringe. Fucking cringe. We want to see Mad Max. We don't care about this fucking character at all. I don't care if it's in the Mad Max world or not. More Max. Less feminist. George, get your balls back. fuck them feminists. Alright, moving on. I'm so sick and tired of, since about like 2010 or so. After that, it's always been these fucking female feminist leads in every fucking TV show. Constantly. Gotta be the boss bitch and tell men how fucking things work and how to do things and blah 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 blah. We're such a badass, this one 18-pound fucking little girl can beat the fuck out of 200-300-pound guys. Get the fuck out of here. Anytime you see a cop show anymore, it's not a buddy cop show. It's some type of fucking boss bitch, and she's the boss, and she runs everything, blah blah blah. And she may have a male partner, but she downgrades him, degrades him, and then half the time, she's fucking asking him for advice and help, and he does it for her, and then she takes the fucking credit like she's the one who fucking solved the fucking case or some shit. Fuck off. It's so dumb. It's sad and pitiful. Or you do get a male lead, but he's a fucking simp or a beta male. He's shy and he's awkward. He has something wrong with him. And some woman has to come around and fucking help him figure shit out to function socially. Oh my God. Stop with the feminist bullshit in every single fucking show. I'm tired of it. I want shows back like Street Hawk, Airwolf, Magnum PI, fucking Miami Vice. Give me some real fucking men that have some fucking balls. Oh my God, I'm so tired of that shit. It's almost every fucking show. You have to have a female fucking boss bitch cunt fucking lead. Ugh. Tired of it. Alright. I ranted long enough. Sorry. I'm sick of it. And I know I'm not the only one, because I've seen everyone bitch about it. Anyways, moving on. I just got done watching the movie Napoleon. Now, there was such a hype for this movie because it stars Joaquin Phoenix. And I like Joaquin Phoenix as an actor. But even he came out in an article and said, I didn't know what I was doing, how I was supposed to, act as this character. I was all over the place because they weren't giving me real directions on how I should act in it. Now, Napoleon has like 60 some odd battles in his fucking career, I think. It was a lot of battles. However, the movie tries to rush everything in 2 fucking hours, which is very disappointing. It should have been a series. It would have been better as a series. Number 2, Joaquin Phoenix, like I said, I like him in that as an actor, but he didn't fit the part. I mean, when they're showing him as a young Napoleon, come on, you can tell, he's 50 some years old. So it just didn't work. The movie mainly focuses on his whore wife. She was just constantly sleeping around on him and shit. And that's 90% of the movie is about her, not him. The movie's called Napoleon for a fucking reason. You're supposed to focus on him, not her. But it focuses pretty much on her. You get about the entire movie, You're lucky if you get about 10 minutes worth of battle scenes or fighting or action. You have 3 battle scenes fairly close at the beginning, which are about 2 minutes apiece. You know, he just runs in there, slaps some swords and shoots some guns, and the battle's over with. And then you get, you know, a 5 minute, maybe 5 minutes at the very end of the Waterloo battle, you know. But they make it to where he didn't know what it looked like he didn't know what he was doing. And Napoleon's one of the greatest war strategists of all time. But they made it look like he didn't know what he was doing. He lost really easily. And I'm like, what the fuck, man? But anyways, I was very, very disappointed in this movie. It was okay, but it was just, like I said, they focused way too much on her instead of him. And that's what made the movie, you know, I give it a thumbs up, thumbs down. It really wasn't that good. It was okay, but it worth a one-time watch. But it's so disappointing because I was really looking forward to seeing this one, and they just fucking shit all over Napoleon. You know, he's supposed to go to Egypt, and he spent years trying to conquer that motherfucker. He's there for like 2 minutes in the entire movie, and you don't really see any battle scenes at all. It's his second in command who comes and tells him that his wife's cheating on him. That's literally the whole scene, 2 minute scene, when he's in Egypt. I was like, what the fuck, man? Like I said, it's not a good movie, real good movie. It could have been way better, and they fucked it up. Alright, let's get on to your B-movie reviews. Okay, Movieholics, this week is Fantasy Week. And we're going to take a look at a couple of movies from the 2000s. I try not to go past like around 2010 or so. I usually keep it somewhere around there and below. And I usually try to do like a decade every time I do another genre. Like I'll start with the 60s and then work my way up to 2000s and then start all over again. So this week, this movie was done in 2007 and it made about 137 million worldwide. It starred Charlie Cox, Claire Danes, Michelle Pfeiffer, Robert De Niro. The movie's called Stardust. Now, I think I saw this when it very first came out, but I didn't remember it, so I'm kind of glad I rewatched it. It didn't do so well. Like, it wasn't a big fan favorite or anything like that. And I think a lot of the reason why is because of the whole cringe situation with Robert De Niro playing like this gay, flying ship captain. He didn't fit the part, and it was really weird and awkward. And the whole cringe acceptance speech for his behavior was just really, really, really weird, offsetting. But anyways, the story goes, there's a magical kingdom and a mundane kingdom. Mundane meaning no magic. There's a wall that separates the two with a hole in the wall, a small one, a very small one, where some rocks or bricks are missing from. And it never explains why the two kingdoms are separated. It never explains why there's a small hole in this wall that keeps them separated, which is weird. But the way the movie starts off, there's a young boy. He's curious about the magical kingdom, and he jumps the wall, which he's not supposed to. They're not supposed to go over, no magic users on one side of the wall, no mundanes on the other side of the wall. Anyways, he goes to the magical kingdom because he's curious. Meets a woman who is enslaved by a witch. She gives him a flower and fucks the shit out of him. He goes home, happy as giddy as can be. A year later, he's given a basket with a baby in it, telling him it belongs to him from over the wall. He figures this is his son. He raises his son, gives him the flower, and then you get to where the son's all grown up. Now, in the magical kingdom, after the son's grown up, his son has grown up, the king is dying. There's a special necklace with a huge ruby in it, and he tells the remainder of his sons, there were like 7, now there's like 4, they've been killing each other off, and his sons turn into ghosts, and they can't depart until a new king is crowned. He tells his sons that in order to become king, he's going to make it interesting. He tells them the crystal that's in the necklace, it drains and becomes looking like a diamond. He tells them the person who is able to get a hold of this necklace and turn it red, ruby again, will become the heir, will become king. So he tosses the necklace out the window, and it goes up into the sky and hits a star, and it starts coming down with the falling star. He dies. The 4 remaining sons, well, they kill one of them, which comes 3. The 3 remaining sons go after the necklace, which is now a falling star. Now the boy, all grown up, he is infatuated with this girl in his village. There's another guy, another suitor, who wants her hand in marriage. He tells her, kind of midnight picnic or whatever, they see the star falling. He tells her he'll go over into the magical kingdom, which they know he's not supposed to do, to get that star, retrieve it for her hand in marriage. Now, he really doesn't know her. He's just infatuated with her. And she says, okay, deal. But you got a week to give it to me or I'm marrying the other guy. So he says, okay. So he hops the wall. Well, no, he doesn't hop the wall. He tries to hop the wall and gets his ass kicked by the guard. He goes back to his dad and tells his dad about what's going on. And his dad gives him this candle that his mother gave him. If, you know, when he grew up, all he had to do was light the candle, think of his mother, and it would take him to her, in the magical kingdom. Well, he thought, okay. So he lights the candle, but instead of thinking of his mother, he's thinking of the star, and it takes him to the star. Now, the star has fallen and has become human, a woman. That's Claire Danes. And I don't know why they chose Claire Danes. She's not that good looking. She's like average. She's not a real beautiful woman, so.
You know who I am.
But whatever. I mean, Michelle Pfeiffer is a goddess, and she's in this too, but they try to make her ugly, and it just doesn't work. But anyways, he ends up with Claire Danes, and he tells her why he's there, why she has the necklace, because it's what plucked her from the sky. He says, you know, he tells her about the girl, and then he's got to take her to the girl. So that's why he's there. And he has one of them chains, like was on his mother, that binds her to him or some shit. Anyways, he starts taking her back to his, to the wall to go back to his village and to see that girl. She reluctantly, the star, has to go with him. Now, every time she's happy, she shines. She glows really bright. Now, there's 3 witches led by Michelle Pfeiffer. Michelle Pfeiffer wants to cut out her heart, the star's heart, when she's glowing, because if she does, then the witches can become immortal by eating the heart. Or consuming the heart. So she goes after the star. So now you got the princes after the star. You got her after the star. And, you know, the boy's trying to take the star back to his home village. Now along the way they meet Robert De Niro, which is this, you know, real queer captain or whatever, this sky ship. And he helps them out. Eventually they all end up at, you know, there's a couple of things that happen along the way, but they all eventually end up, almost all the princes, the brothers are all dead. By the time they all catch each other up, the witches have captured her and her mother. Michelle Pfeiffer killed the witch that held his mother. She took her in her place. So now she's got the star in her mother and at their fortress, the witch's fortress. The boy and the last prince, they show up to the fortress to stop the witches. Well, they end up killing the last prince. And the only way they can ascend is if someone becomes king. So they think they're screwed and they're stuck forever because no one can become king. But the sister, their sister is there, his mother, and she tells him, I'm your mother, blah, blah, blah. He kills the witch, one of the witches, and then almost kills Michelle Pfeiffer. But she tricks him. And then the star ends up killing Michelle Pfeiffer. And he picks up the stone. It turns red, ruby again. And his mother says, "You are royalty. You are the grandson of the king." Which causes the ghost of the brothers, his uncles, to ascend. He becomes king. The star and him live happily ever after, forever. Because apparently they traded each other's hearts somehow, and they go back up to the stars when they become really old and the grandkids take over the kingdom. That's the end of the movie. It's a pretty good movie. I thought it was a pretty good movie. It wasn't bad. Like I said, the only thing I could think of that made it to where people really didn't get into it was the whole wanky part with fucking Robert De Niro's character. Other than that, it wasn't bad. They could have left all that shit out and the movie would have been just fine. But he just didn't fit that kind of part. But anyways, other than that, I give it a thumbs up and thumbs down. So check it out if you want. It's a decent movie. It's not bad. It's worth a one-time watch. Alright, moving on to the next one. The next one is a Disney film. It was done in 2010 and it made about $336 million worldwide. It's based off a video game. It's called Prince of Persia: Sands of Time, and it starred Jake Gyllenhaal, Gemma Arterton, and Ben Kingsley. Now, I'm a big fan of Ben Kingsley. He's a great actor. So basically, the story goes, you know, Jake's character, Destan, I think Destan or something like that, that's how you say it. Destan breaks into this holy city. The uncle, which is played by Ben Kingsley, he tells the three brothers, the older brother who's going to become king, the other brother, and then Destan, which is an adopted brother. He tells them that the spy told him that the people in this holy city are creating weapons for their enemies. So they raid this city, and Destan breaks into this area where he steals a knife. Well, he doesn't steal it. He fights this guy who's supposed to protect the knife. He gets a hold of the knife. It's got a glass handle with a little bit of sand in it and a button on top. Now, he eventually later figures out that if you push that button, it has that sand in there. You can go back a minute in time and change something. However, after they conquer the city, they capture the princess. The brother, the oldest brother, he gives Destan a gift to give to the king when they go back home. That's some kind of robe or some shit. When he gives it to the king, it turns like acid and it burns the shit out of him and kills him. Destan didn't know, and he freaks out. Everybody starts accusing him of killing the king, so he runs out of the palace, and the princess goes with him. There's several times where you know, she knocks him out or some bullshit like that, stabs him in the back, and tries to take the dagger back because she knows what it does. Like I said, eventually he figures it out too. She comes clean eventually though and tells him it has to have special sand for it to work. You can't just use ordinary sand. So he's thinking his older brother killed the king to take his place. But later on, he figures out that's the uncle who killed the king. He wants to get a hold of it. He set up the whole thing for them to raid the holy city because he wants the dagger. He wants the dagger so he can go back in time and change an event in his life between him and his brother, the king. He saved his life when they were younger, and instead he wants to go back and not save his life so he can become king. There is a hidden temple with this magical sand beneath the palace, and he's got to take the dagger there and use that sand. Now, supposedly it'll cause an apocalyptic event if he does, if it's used in the wrong way for evil or whatever. Yada yada yada, the whole stick and spiel. But he does send assassins after him and the princess. So they end up fighting these assassins along the way, and they end up making friends with this smuggler and this other African warrior or some shit who's good at throwing knives. Blah blah blah. Anyways, towards the end of the movie, they find the princess and him find a way. They fall in love. They find a way into the hidden temple below the palace, and then him and his uncle end up fighting it out over the knife, which is now stuck in the sand. Dastan pushes the button and it sends him back into time, but more than a minute. It sends him way back. It sends him back to when they first conquered the holy city. He realizes it. He confronts his uncle, and his uncle tries to kill him right there on the spot, but his brothers turn around and kill his uncle, or kill their uncle, realizing that the Stan was telling the truth. The princess, instead of, a conquered city and, her forced into a marriage, the oldest brother offers an alliance to her and tells her that they were misguided or lied to about her city and her people. So he offers an alliance to marry Dastan. Dastan then presents the knife to her and says, "I'm just returning what's already owed to you." And when she sees the knife, she realizes he must know what it does, and he's probably used it. But the fact that he's returning it, makes her say yes to the marriage. And then they get married and they live happily ever after, blah, 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 blah. In the movie. Like many other certain Disney flicks, like John Carter and Mars, this is a really good movie. I don't know why they just did one and just dropped it. It makes no sense. It made decent money. I don't get it. So did John Carter. So I don't get why they do that. They'll make a really good movie that just about everybody likes, and then they won't do any sequels. But they will push their garbage narrative, feminist woke ideology, and make tons of sequels to garbage movies just to push the message. They think if they keep beating you over the head with it, you're eventually going to give up and say, "Oh, I guess I ain't got nothing else to watch." Fuck Disney. Fuck the rest of the Hollywood. We don't want that garbage. Anyways, this movie was pretty good. I liked it. I thought it was decent, you know. Like I said, I really like Ben Kingsley. He's a great actor. 2 thumbs up. Great movie. Check it out if you want. So that's all I have for you this week. If you could think of any underrated or B movies that you think I may never have seen or heard of before, please leave your suggestions in the comment section down below, and I'll get around to reviewing them as soon as I can. If you have any thoughts about what I talked about earlier in the video, please leave your thoughts down in the comment section down below. I'd love to hear from you. Anyways, that's all I have for you. Thank you for watching. Until next time, I told you you'd be told the truth, and you just been told.